Hi, in this short video I'm going to share with you my experience of a handful of busking amplifiers and how they stand up to the job, and in particular integrate with my acoustic guitar setup, which also includes a wireless jack and my own backing tracks. Well, you could say spoiled for choice when it comes to busking amplifiers, but I've been after the perfect amp for some time and even made my own guitar case amplifier at one point. It's not that I do much busking nowadays, but when I do, the amp has to meet certain requirements, and straight off it has to be light enough to carry on foot and also on my scooter or motorbike, but heavy enough to deliver a punch. It's been an expensive game trying out different busking amps, because although obviously you can just listen to other buskers and see what they use, you don't really know until you try them on the street for your own particular music act. So in my town, where tourist street noise level is high, you need at least 30 watts, which of course you need to use the volume knob over, as street ambient sound can change as the wind blows. So you need power and clarity. So let's look at my first amp, this little Roland AC-33. It delivers 30 watts, I think, and it's crystal clear for guitar if lacking a little in the bass. But it is designed for guitar. It's got a few more tweaks than I actually need, including a looper, and I do find the hand strap a little awkward, but the batteries seem to last forever. Now, I also have a Yamaha 150 watt PA system, which I used to wheel around on a custom made trolley, and it has full-blown mixer, but my favourite sound system has been this compact and very punchy Samson amp. 40 watts of power, delivering a lovely rich and warm sound, making it a great partner to my favourite Yamaha guitar. I make guitars, and you can see I've modified the skeletal Yamaha to include this Tascam recorder for my backing tracks, but I'm forever attending to the back of the guitar, checking the next song, fiddling with the volume. It tends to make playing with a strap very awkward. Now, I had to do a festival gig recently and conjure up a band at short notice. I needed more power and bought this similar 100 watt Samson amplifier to link up to the 40 watt one. Suffice to say, at the last minute the rest of the band voted we use the PA system provided, but it didn't have monitors and we couldn't hear ourselves play for most of the gig. I had to stop a song halfway through, but fortunately the audience was forgiving, and we had to turn it into a bit of a comedy act. They were probably a little bit pissed as well. Now, the moral is always use your own sound system. Well, back to the plot then. These two Samsons have the same specified frequency response, but the 100 watt version isn't as bright, but it does have a very clearly defined bass and has Bluetooth for linking up with my smartphone and my song playlist. It's a bit heavy for a youngster like me to lug around over any distance, but it's the right shape to serve as a seat or a footrest when playing. Now, the Samson delivers a really nice warm sound. I think I already said that. And for the kind of music I play, sound quality is really important. It's not just about loudness. So, where I am right now is needing to have total fingertip control over the songs I deliver and having a compact mobile setup to lug around. So that leads me on to the latest acquisition, which I think now ticks all the boxes. The Mackie FreePlay. Wow. Well, I was apprehensive first because it looks a bit of a toy to me, and when I loaded up with £8 worth of D-type batteries and took it onto the streets yesterday, the ambient street sound almost drowned it out. But then I hadn't tweaked it properly through the EQ and an app on my phone that links to the Mackie. I then bumped into another busker on a quieter pitch who was really helpful, and while I was playing he offered to adjust the settings. Now, that's what busking's all about. Thank you, James of Bath, for your generosity. In fact, later James and I had a jam on the streets on our respective guitars. He's got a great voice as well. Now, his Roland Street Cube matched the Mackie really well, and I was able to deliver some rich bass sound to complement his guitar chords. Later that night I downloaded a really useful music player app where I can instantly cue my backing tracks and adjust volume levels, and also switch over to the Mackie app for the EQ. So I'm going to look at ways of either mounting my iPhone on the guitar, not over keen on that, or sticking it in my pocket and controlling the playlist from a smartwatch so that everything is easy peasy. The Mackie claims 300 watts. I think that must be peak, so I think it's about 150 watts. But I mean, these are just figures. There's more to sound projection than just wattage. It's plenty loud enough for busking, and I used it as a radio later. Well, it looks like one. And I listened to some late night jazz in the early hours. So I'm quite happy with my purchase. Well, I hope this is useful to you, so thanks for watching, and please do subscribe. Oh, I forgot to mention that I use this same well-worn bag for all these amplifiers, not at the same time, that is.